Two of a courtroom drama in one of Jacksonville's most unforgettable murders. Joshua Phillips is seeking a new sentence in the murder of 8-year-old Maddie Clifton almost 20 years ago. Channel 4's Chris Brento has been following the testimony yesterday and again today. He's joining us now live with an update. Chris.
Tom, a busy day of testimony inside the Duval County Courthouse today, including 2 corrections employees who have been around Joshua Phillips, the prisoner, over the last couple of years, and one witness, a former newspaper writer here in town who spoke with Phillips nearly 10 years ago from prison.
Extremely remorseful. He fought back tears when he answered those questions.
Paul Pinkham interviewed Josh Phillips for a 10-year anniversary story about Maddie Clifton's murder. He says the two never talked specifics of the crime, but did talk about the years since it happened.
He just talked about how truly sorry he was to Maddie and to her family. He said he thought about her every day.
2 state corrections personnel also talked about their experiences with a now 33-year-old who got his diploma, has become a tutor and legal assistant despite being considered a lifer in prison, which both witnesses said allowed him fewer opportunities.
Overruled the objection. They sent that I will allow Mr. Shorstein to testify.
Then the man who prosecuted Phillips originally took the stand. Former state attorney Harry Shorstein said multiple times today that while his memory of all the facts isn't now what it was back then, he gave consideration to what the Clifton family wanted at the time, but made the decision on his own to charge Phillips with first-degree murder, something he now might not have done.
If this were before you and you were still the state attorney, then the decision that you reached back in 1998.
I don't want to be evasive. I don't know. It's a very tough, a lot of times in law, you know, we think we know everything and everything has a black and white answer. I would give it greater weight, a decision to charge with second-degree murder because of the evidence we have today that we didn't have at that time.
Shorstein says that part of that evidence now is the changes in brain science that have been revealed since 1998 and what is now known. He said he didn't recall some of the things that the state was bringing up today as being issues back during the original trial because of the way that he tried the case. During Shorstein's testimony, though, it was very clear there was a lot of frustration coming from members of the Clifton family sitting inside the courtroom because of what Shorstein is saying now and what he did back then. Live outside the Duval County Courthouse tonight, I'm Chris Brento, Channel 4, the local station.